What's up, guys? Erebus here with another installment of Not in My Dungeon, and today we're going to be having some more fun at level 60 in the Irithyll Dungeon using the wonderful, wonderful Great Club that I'm really growing fond of. It's got excellent damage output, great moveset, good hyper armor. It's just all around a solid weapon. Now, you see right there as I came in, I saw those skeleton bros out of order, so I know the host is here. I see the jailer's running this way, so I figure he's over yonder. He's not, but he is there. So I'm not sure what that jailer was doing in the first place. But at any rate, he attempts to block, which is a poor choice against a great club. Between the outfit and the shield, I'm thinking that was a newer player. Feel kind of bad about that one, but not bad enough. Just like last time. Now here, I'm getting invaded, and cool guy, Millwood arrows me while I'm waiting for him. I'm a lone host sitting there waiting for him, and he's going to arrow me. So I know going in that this is not going to be honorable, but that's alright, because bro has no health. But I take the opportunity to buff while he's healing. That way I can hopefully actually two-shot him. Now in this range where he's at right here, I can. So I'm just wanting him to come in close so that I can do so. I tried to trade here with the running attack and got staggered out, unfortunately. But that's fine. Doesn't do a ton of damage. I'm not worried. That time I'm able to lead him in and swing through. And there's nothing you can really do about that. Alright, so I cut out the beginning of this one. There were a couple minutes of me looking for this guy because I didn't think that anyone would back up this far. Before the bonfire, but he did. And he applauds the fact that I'm able to find him. So I figure he's a pretty cool guy. Let's give him a wave. Let's have an honorable duel. He gives me the edgelord gesture, which is fine. Starts off with the fireballs. I'm not playing that game. But I see instantly that he's got the greatsword one-handed, so I think about going for a parry. Then I go ahead and put that away, both because of the shield he's got, and he quickly switches to two-handed. So at this point, again, relatively new to using the club, even though I love it, so I'm not sure how much I can trade with. So you'll see here at the beginning I'm a little bit more defensive, rolling through most things, including the R1s. Until about now, I notice, oh, okay, as long as I hit, relatively early at least, I can swing straight through this guy. That was good timing on his part. But starts healing. So I go, okay, well, it's going to be one of those. That's fine. I just have to make sure that, at this point of the game, hosts are going to have a fair amount of Estus flasks. So I just want to make sure that he has to drink 2 to 3 times for every time that I do. But as long as I keep that up, I'm not really concerned. If he wants to drink, it's just going to add some arbitrary length to the fight, which it does, as you're already seeing. And now there is when I realize I can fully just swing through his R1s. There's nothing that he can do that I need to be afraid of other than, a charged R2 or whatever. So I'm going to get a lot more aggressive from that point on, because I don't have to worry. Unfortunately, I think he realized that as well. Because he starts getting a lot more defensive. You'll see there I tried to parry his running attack. I'm going to do that a few more times because I really want it. No other reason than that. I just really want it, and I'm not real concerned about this fight. I've already made him use a large amount of his Estus, and I've got 3 left. And, 2 of them I used because I whiffed parries, which I'm not real concerned about doing. From there on. So I was just kind of playing around with him a little bit. Wanted to try to get the parry if I could, but didn't work, so I'm back to two-handed. And just slowly kind of chipping down his health, letting him drink. There he was able to knock me out of my R2. I noticed that the R2 has a lot later startup on the hyper armor than one would expect. So it's still got hyper armor, and it's pretty excellent hyper armor. If you get it to trigger, there's very little that'll knock you out of it, but it comes in very late. So here you see me going for some roll backstabs. I'm not unlocking though, so I don't really have much chance to get them. Yeah, I don't really know what it is that the unlock helps so much, but it does. Though it's not something I can do. Now this one had such that charged R2 had such a long recovery time. I was able to roll backstab him while locked on, which was good. That was helpful. Now just swinging through him, you know, kind of a rinse and repeat sort of thing. It's like I said, the battle was decided pretty early on in the battle. There was just some arbitrary length added because of Estus. That glorious R2 roll catch is what finally gets him. So I give him some nice applause. It was alright. And then show him how much Estus I had left. So I'm a cheeky bastard. So on to the next one. This one is a bit strange, and there will be some fast-forwarded portions that have to do with searching. Always searching. So right now from the get-go, I'm seeing that there's a lot of enemies that are killed, but I'm not seeing damage numbers further. So I start progressing through the level there. I see the Sunbro, so I know I'm on the right track. And now I'm trying to take a peek to see how many of them there are. And as of now, I see Sunbro and Host. So I think, okay, 2, not bad. Host is going to fight the enemies over there. And in the meantime, I'm going to take out, or try to take out this here Sunbro. He's playing very defensively, just staying away from me mostly. Which realistically is wise, given his build. I mean, he's clearly an int build. You know, he probably can't take too many hits from this club. So it's relatively smart the way he's playing. Now he is going to come in here with this war pick though, and he is going to notice that it is fast enough that he can hit me before my hyper armor kicks in, even on the R1s. And I can't swing through it because of the startup. Unfortunately, he gets a little trigger happy with it, and he gets parried. Now that doesn't kill him, but what does happen is he runs. He runs away. Now I know the host didn't go that way because I was standing out there. The host came this way, so that means they're splitting up. I care more about the host than I do about the Sunbro. If he's not going to protect his host, then, I mean, that's his problem, not mine. Typically, I do like to kill phantoms before the host because it, you know, prolongs the invasion and makes it more fun and more interesting. But, you know, in this case, if he's just going to run away from me, I'm going to let him. I don't have to. I don't have to hunt him now. As I come down here, I realize that he has also come down here, but I'm not interested in him anymore. I know the host ran through here, and I'm seeing all the dead enemies, so I'm thinking, okay, he got the shortcut. Probably didn't run to the Profane Capital, although he could have. So I'm going to check the shortcut here. Elevator's up, which tells me he went there. So I'm going to pull the lever and just keep an eye on the Sunbro and see if he tries to stop me, which he doesn't. He just watches me go up, and then he doesn't call the elevator back down. So, not sure what his plan was. So at this point now, with this shortcut now open, I'm thinking this host ran back to the bonfire, and he's hoping that the Phantom will be able to kill me. So I'm beelining for the bonfire, and not really expecting the Phantom to chase me, but also hoping that he doesn't, honestly. And yep, here we have the host. Here he is just chilling with his frost sword and the lightest pseudo-great shield. So I just R1 him for days. Unfortunately, that leaves me no stamina, and he does the same. So I come out on top of that trade, of course, but he gets the heal off. And then I see that he's fat rolling. So at this point, I'm not feeling great about this, honestly. That sword, that shield, the fat roll, I'm thinking he's new. Although he did do a great roll catch there. I'm not sure if that was skill or just kind of a luck situation, but pretty solid. Unfortunately, he then goes for the third R1 in a row and gets Cestus parried, and that's the end of that. But I give him a nice wave. I don't have anything against him. It was pretty fun, actually. So this one, once again, I cut out a little bit of searching because it spawned me fairly far in the level. But seeing the enemy placements, I finally found this gent back here. And I'm instantly just kind of sighing. At this point, I see the Dark Sword, I see the Medium Shield, see the Fallen Knight, and I'm just, oh. Oh. The noobness. So we go for doing some trades. And now he pulls out a big-ass Black Knight Sword. So now I'm thinking, oh, okay, he's fucking around with this noob shit. He knows what he's doing. I don't actually know which one was true, to be honest. Given the lengthy age of the game, I'm going to say probably the latter, but I don't know for sure. At any rate, he's doing a pretty good job of whacking me a little bit, but I'm just a little bit too aggressive and overcome him there. So this one is a bit fun as well. We've got a host and a single phantom, but that phantom is over leveled. So walking into this, I'm not sure what we're getting into, because I don't know, of course, how over leveled. Goes to parry the Great Club, two-handed. So I know he's not real well versed in PvP. I know I'm going to take damage on that, but I figure it's a better idea just to get him out of the way than to let him heal or anything. And now the host makes a grave mistake and holds up the torch, which counts as blocking. So I guard break the torch and get a repose. Props for torch use, I guess. So this is also a somewhat lengthy one, but it's mostly a 1v1. So here we've got Gundyr just straight up in the back, and a caster phantom who's friendly until I buff, and then he starts in with the soul spears. So I'm going to, of course, focus on the phantom more so. Even though I'm locked onto the host, I was mainly swinging at the phantom there. Get rid of him quickly, and now the host is about toast. Apologizes and drinks. So I think he was aware that it was... He was going for a duel at first, but then decided he didn't want to die. Which is understandable, but I just thought it was funny that he took the time to throw the I'm sorry carving out there. Now he also is trying to parry the Great Club, which is going to get very confusing for him a little bit later on. So I'm two-handing because I don't want to deal with a parry spammer. And I don't know yet how much he's going to hit that parry. Turns out not as much as I would have feared, but more than I would have liked. He does a good job there of getting a couple hits in, making me back up so that he has the opportunity to drink. Good job there. Does the jump attack, which gives me plenty of time to drink as well, so we're just kind of reset back to 0 here. Now that he's two-handing, I switch to one hand because I'd like to parry that weapon art, and he quickly switches to the one hand and gets the parry. So good on him for that. That was a good change up. Now the reason that I said it's going to get confusing for him though is you see there he just got the parry, but no other parry that he goes for is going to work. Because I'm, two-handing the majority of the time, especially when I see that out. So I think he's going to be a bit confused as to why it worked once and not other times. But it is what it is. At any rate, I was trying to knock him out of his weapon art with my R2. It's not how the hyper armors worked, so good to know for next time. But I've already tried parrying it a couple times, and for some reason I'm not connecting with it. I don't know if just my timing was off if there was a little bit of lag. My guess would be the former, but the world may never know. So at this point, he's doing a lot of rolls. I somehow get some sort of backstab. I don't really know where that came from, to be honest. Try to end it with the bomb. Of course, he gets the drink off before I can, and you know, he's got a lot of drinks, so it just ends up being. And there's another weird backstab. Don't know how that one happened either. It's kind of a battle of. It's almost a mirror match. You know, we're two poise boys with parry tools. Going for more parries than we should and getting ghostly backstabs. So it's just kind of a fun invasion, to be honest. It was a pretty fun duel. Went on a little bit long for my taste, but it was a good time. End up getting him there at the end. And I applaud his efforts, and then, you know, I think about it and I go ahead and just bow, because that was a good time. Even though it wasn't quote unquote honorable because there was drinking involved, it was a pretty honorable duel. Now, right off the bat, I know what you're thinking. This is not the dungeon. This is the profane capital. But there's a reason for that, and that is that this portion, specifically of the capital, attaches to the dungeon in a couple ways, technically. I mean, Zigbro, his cell is in this area, and then, of course, the way to get the last jailer's key and go down to where the giant's at and all that, that's all here. So I get that it's technically the profane capital, but I personally consider it part of the dungeon. So sue me. But at any rate, we saw that Phantom quickly get dispatched, and now it's me and Mr. Greatsword, who's got some lag going on, which is concerning me. But he also has... I always mistime that with the R2. I can't ever tell if it's because people are charging it a good amount, so that it throws me off, or if I just suck at the timing. But at any rate, I see that this guy's toxic. He can't heal as toxic. And if you pay real close attention right here, he shows me he's out of Estus. So it's over. He sits down and dies. I sit down as well. And that's all there is to it. So hope you enjoyed, guys. Like I said, this is probably going to be a series, so there'll be at least one more. See you next time.